So I'm going to cover the 3 basic ways you can mute the strings with your right hand for slide guitar. The first way is I associate with Derek Trucks or Warren Haynes, Dwayne Allman, kind of that school of playing, where your thumb's going to drape across the lower strings like this, and your first finger is going to strike whatever string it is you want to sound, and then the rest of your fingers will get the strings above that string. Hopefully that makes sense. So say you want to strike the 2nd string at the 12th fret. Your thumb's going to mute all the strings below the 2nd string. Your first finger is going to strike the 2nd string, the B string, and your other 2 fingers are going to stay on top of the high E string. Then if you want to move that down, if you want to play the G string, your first finger will get to the G string, and then your other 2 fingers will slide down, muting the rest of the strings above it, and your thumb's still draping across. So then if you want to go down again, you just bring the whole system down. And you can kind of go back and forth between playing with your thumb and your index finger. That's where you get a lot of like... And you can still use your other fingers, obviously, like I just used my 3rd finger there, but that's kind of the home base, so you can be moving your hand a lot up and down string sets. Now the other way I associate with Sonny Landreth, where he will do his thumb will play the lower 3 strings, and then his first finger play the G string, 2nd finger's on the B string, and 3rd finger's on the high E string if you were to be in standard tuning. So that might look something like this. So all my fingers are kind of staying put. Now if you were to do the same kind of playing the same kind of riff with the Derek Trucks technique, that would look a little bit more like this. And you see, I kind of combined the 2 of them, so I might be like... So that was pretty Sonny Landreth. Then... That was pretty Derek Trucks. You can kind of watch the right hand and see how they switch back and forth between each other. Now the last way I want to talk about is kind of I associate with guys like Son House or Book of White or any of the Delta Blues or Hill Country Blues players, where they're predominantly playing on the 1st and 2nd string with a slide, so they're not really doing a whole lot of muting with their right hand. They'll do stuff like... go down to the 2nd string a bit, but they don't really mind all those overtones and notes kind of blending into each other and hanging onto each other. Because I think of like Book of White, when he plays the 7th fret of the high E string, he catches the B string in there too, so that sounds something like... Those kind of overtones in there, so it's not crystal clear like... So you mean that kind of has a different flavor to it, but to get into that that authenticity of that style, I kind of just use my thumb and my 1st finger. But like I said, I switch back and forth between all 3 of them, and I'm sure I'm stealing techniques from like lap steel players too, but the most videos I've watched where I really try to absorb what I'm seeing is definitely Derek Trucks, Ry Cooter, and then some of the earlier Sonny Landreth, and then some of the earlier guys like Book of White, Son House. That's all I can think of off the top of my head right now, but there's like a million. Another guy I really like is John Mooney. He plays with 2 finger picks, I think it's 2 finger picks, and 1 thumb pick. And he does a lot of up and down with just his thumb and 1st finger, like a lot of the real kind of messier sounding stuff. Like